Hey guys, it's Adam with Dead Man's Weed. Just wanted to kind of give you an update. I went live for a little while. I thought I was supposed to record the video, and it was recording, but for some reason it did not upload it to YouTube. So I'm going to do a shorter version and explain what I'm doing, what I have been doing, and what I'm trying to do at the moment. All right, so first of all, one thing I was having an issue with was the lighting in here. I've been using these lights for a couple of years. They work okay. They're not your best. They're average grow lights, nothing fancy. Let me go ahead and move this out of the way real quick so I can explain a little better what I'm doing and why that was there. So what I did to counteract it was I had to raise this bar up, and I raised it up in order to get enough area to be able to run these lights underneath. And because the video, the live feed didn't save, these are the, I'm using two of these lights. These lights right here, I believe they're 100 watts. Yeah, they're 100 watt. And I'll show you kind of what they look like without blaring you. Well, let's do this because I have them all plugged up. Like I said, wish that video would have saved, but it did not. So I'm going to take y'all and show y'all. So right now, this light right here is the one I just added, okay? And it's got, right now it's got two different settings on it. So you got your bloom and your veg setting, okay? Right now I have it in veg, and if y'all saw, that's what it looks like. Now if I switch that off and go to bloom, it's a red light. That encourages flowering. And the veg obviously does for veg. And the reason it does it, the light spectrums during the season change, and that's what encourages the plant in the season on different stages of the season on what you want to do. So basically what I mean by that is you have it in veg, that's the type of rays that are shown to the plants in early spring that tells them to get up and start growing. And then as the plants get over and it goes towards late August in the fall, the spectrum changes. So that's cool and all, but if you want to double it up and do a full spectrum, you turn them both on. And that's going to be a full spectrum range that is good for the whole grow period from start to finish. So now I'm going to leave it back in veg just to help encourage that. And this right here is my favorite one here. I needed more of these. I'm going to try and get some more. This one right here is much brighter, and it is basically a 3x3 square foot area. And it also has the veg and flowering. Right now it's in veg. And let me switch it on to flowering. And once again, it is also the red, emitting red. So, and if I want to do full spectrum, this thing gets crazy. And the thing is, like, for what it is, it's like 15,000 lumens, which is way better than what they've been getting. But I'm going to run them on just veg for now. And if it's less power, it'll definitely help me not run out of power so quickly. All right, so here's an update. So now, this is what's happening is when the lights aren't strong enough, they tend to stretch. And then they will finally tip over, and it's not that big a deal. It's also another form of stress training. But when I go ahead and plant these again, and I change them and put them in the bigger pots, I'm going to bury it probably up to here and let all that below become a root or start to form roots, similar to cloning. You see they're falling, but they are starting to stack now, and I just put these lights up today. So I'm hoping in about a week or two, I can start increasing their nutrients. Right now, I'm only using a very simple design, a very simple. There we go. It's better. Sorry, a little fuzzy there. Right now, I'm using General Hydroponics for their veg. I actually use 10 total, but right now, when they're this small, I try to just use a General Hydroponic root drench and another one that just mainly is nitrogen, high nitrogen. Excuse me. and that really helps just to help the root grow. I have a rule of thumb 3, so I don't like to add the rest of the nutrients or start adding it to the soil until I have at least 3 stacks on the plant. And the reason for that is I'm pumping it to them early when they get about 3 stacks in order to help speed it up and encourage the root growth to really get going, so it can start to bush out and put on more branches and more leaves, so I can get them ready for cloning season. All these plants in here are going to be the first set of mothers that are just dedicated mothers. They're not going to be flowered out, at least not to the end of the season or next year. I'm going to make these last as long as I can, and that way I can get as many clones off the season as possible. And then when I do flower them out, hopefully they'll be very good sized plants and make some, make some good flowering amounts, some good pounds, hopefully. But either way, the 10 I used them on the exotics, and they loved them. I didn't have any burn anywhere, and to be honest, I was almost sure I would burn some, and I didn't, and I'm hoping these plants are similar. They're like in the general hydroponics. I'm not seeing yellowing. Even when the ones that are laying down, I don't see any yellow. And this soil did have some of those nutrients in it already. They came out of pots that I had some of the exotics in, so they were getting it. There is plenty of nutrients in this soil already, so I don't want to overdo it. And once I see that they're getting up and they can take a little more and let them eat some of that and absorb some of that, then I will start putting more to them. But like I said, there's already that much in there. Now, one thing that you need to see in the live video was when I hung these right here, I double wrapped these up so they'd be strong enough. I didn't want them to fall on the plants. I had to brace the power cord and make sure they wouldn't fall off, because all of these are kind of like touching it or tied to it. And I didn't want to cause any problems, because that's the worst thing, is doing something in the greenhouse and right above your plants and then one fall, because it can do detrimental damage to these babies on each one it hits if I'm not careful. So one of those stress things. Now, one thing I didn't think about too much, and I should have, was I had insulation covering this, and it's still over on the side there, but it's not long enough to reach across now due to how tall it is. So what I'm going to end up doing is, and I'll do an update later on the video, but I'm going to basically on the other side here, I'm going to lean them up over the wood, tack it down with staples across so that I can at least have one side that's not facing the sun, because there's a window right here, so we can get heat and stuff from the actual sun coming in the evening time. And that's really what I want, because during the day it's warm in here, but as that sun goes down, that heat's still coming in a little bit in here and helping get into the greenhouse, so it stays in the 60s at night. And I've been able to achieve about 58 to 65 has been my range with no heat overnight. Only one time when it was down and I was taking a chance, but I wanted to really see what this would handle. And I had heaters on standby just in case, but I let it get down to 44 in here one night, and that wasn't running heat, and it was like low 20s, and they didn't show any signs of stress. And that's the coldest it's been in here. I haven't let it get that cold since, but I really wanted to test it and see what the greenhouse would do, and it did really, really well. I'm really impressed with this, and I think this was a really good decision, at least for now. It just keeps it out of the way, and that air gap in between where the building is, and that it really does help keep this to regulate itself. And that's really what I want, self-sustainability. And this little greenhouse inside this, some people might laugh, man, you got a greenhouse inside of a greenhouse. Well, yes, I need the most controlled environment. And the fact that I'm off grid and I'm having to try to make this as concealed to, bare elements, hail, snow, ice, it falls directly on this building, and it's kind of sitting off on its own little pedestal, so it can get slammed by the winds, like all day. And it blows hard up here even when it's not stormy. And when it storms, man, the other night when the storm came through, we had hail, it blew off some of the side panel I had to put back on. It was such a strong wind coming through here, and the hail was just absolutely, but luckily nothing in here was harmed, and that's what we were hoping and praying for and making sure, and it did well. It did great. So that's basically it for now. I just wanted to kind of give y'all an update on what's going on, see the different change in here. And I've got more seeds starting. I've got the website up. Yeah, I have the website up. It's not ready yet. It's looking great, but I still have some fine tuning to do, some more customization that needs to be done on it. But the guts are there. It's looking great, and I'm expecting over the next 2-3 weeks, everything should be the way I want it exactly, and then there'll be items for sale on there. They will be. I promise y'all, this is not the average web page. It's gonna be classy and nice, and it's gonna be even kid friendly. I mean, we're making it where it's not just boom in your face weed, but it's classy, it's family oriented, and I think you're going to be really, really happy with it. I am. I'm already happy. I'm stoked right now on how it's coming out. I could have asked for a better creator. Tony, man, shout out to Tony. He's done great. He's doing great, and I'm excited about what he's going to do. But guys, I tell you right now, it's going to blow your minds on how well it was done. It's just top-notch stuff. I mean, this is professional quality. This is not some guy that's done it on the side and just knows how to make web pages. He does it for his business, and he does really well. He's an expert, and we're excited. So a lot of stuff to come, a lot of stuff coming. March is almost here, March 7th. Don't forget, keep your eyes and ears open for that, because that's going to be a big day, hopefully, for everybody here in Oklahoma. And all the growers are getting excited. The ones that stayed in, if you didn't stay in, sorry about bad luck. I know it's hard. It is hard. This business is not easy. But there's a lot of good things coming, guys. Get excited. But that's it for now. I'll give y'all an update later. Signing off. Y'all take care.